Good evening. It's Tuesday, October 21st, 2025 at 7:05. I'm calling the Sanitary Commission of Grand Chute to order. Can we have a roll call, please?
Haley,
Here.
Mantis,
Here.
Lair,
Here.
Gehring,
Here.
English.
Here. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Can I get approval of the agenda and order of the day?
Haley moves approval.
Lair seconds.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Is there any public input?
There's none.
Okay. Can I get approval of the consent agenda?
Gehring moves approval of the minutes from October 7th, 2025, and exception of the monthly reports for September.
Lair seconds.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Can I get acceptance of the financial reports?
Mantis makes a motion to approve paid vouchers for October 21st and accept budget reports from September.
Haley seconds.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. I'm calling for adjournment.
Haley moves approval of adjournment.
Lair seconds.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We're adjourned. Now I'm calling the Grand Chute Town Board meeting to order. We don't need a roll call or the Pledge of Allegiance. Can I get approval of the agenda and the order of the day?
Haley moves approval of the agenda and order of the day.
Lair seconds.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have oath of office.
Thank you. I'd ask Mike Lichtensteiger to step up here. Thank you, everyone, for being here tonight, community members and family and friends. It's always a privilege to speak to our community, and tonight I have the distinct honor of introducing our newly promoted police captain, Mike Lichtensteiger. Mike has dedicated his career to the noble cause of policing. He began his journey more than 18 years ago at the Milwaukee Police Department. And after quickly determining that policing in Milwaukee wasn't part of his long-term plans, he was hired as a patrol deputy at the Winnebago County Sheriff's Office. Mike has served in a variety of roles throughout his career, from patrol deputy to detective and later lieutenant. Mike has more than 8 years of progressive leadership experience, including a unique opportunity to lead within a correctional setting. As a correctional lieutenant, he supervised nearly 50 staff members and led major initiatives that improved safety, policy compliance, and institutional accountability. One standout initiative was his work on achieving PREA compliance in a facility that, quite frankly, wasn't built with that in mind. When Mike transitioned into the role of patrol lieutenant, he brought the same level of commitment and innovation to the road that he demonstrated in corrections. In 2022, Mike was seeking to make a change in his career and joined the Grand Chute Police Department as a patrol lieutenant. Shortly after his arrival, Mike reinvigorated our existing drone program and worked hard on bringing the state's first drone as a first responder program to Grand Chute. Building this program was not a simple task. Rather, it required pilots to be selected and trained, waivers to be obtained from the FAA, communication with the public about the use of this new technology, and collection of data to measure the program's success. This innovative approach to public safety is exactly what the community expects of us, and Mike delivers. Mike is what I would call a community first or a people first leader. Whether it's managing our community service officer program, volunteering at National Night Out, or helping Appleton Alliance manage their traffic flow, he's always been focused on building trust with the community and strengthening internal relationships amongst our staff. Mike has a proven track record and a wealth of experience that spans across the various functions of a modern police agency. He's led from the front during high-risk incidents, overseen critical investigations, developed strategic policies, and most importantly, he's never stopped learning, adapting, and growing. Mike recently worked to complete his bachelor's degree at UW-Oshkosh and graduated earlier this year from Northwestern University's School of Police Staff and Command. The amount of determination and grit needed to do both of those simultaneously while also fulfilling responsibility cannot be overstated. Mike's promotion isn't just a recognition of his past success. It's an investment in the future of this department and our community. Please join me in congratulating and welcoming Captain Mike Lichtensteiger to his new role. At this time, I'd like to ask Mike's wife, Callie, to come up and pin his new badge on him.
Is there any public comment? There is none. Can I get approval of the consent agenda?
Gearing moves approval of consent agenda items 1, 2, and 3 as listed on the agenda.
Lair seconds.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Can I get approval of the financial reports?
Bantus,
Go ahead, sir.
Bantus makes a recommendation to approve, accept paid vouchers for October 21st, 2025, and accept budget reports from September.
Halen seconds.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. On to new business. Item number 1, Plan Commission recommendations. Mr. Patzer, would you like to introduce these?
Sorry. Thank you, Chair. Not finding this
Am
item.
I putting you on the spot?
No.
Okay.
I'm running the projector, too. What's the next item on the agenda?
First is the new avenue.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking it should have been the CSM, and I couldn't find it.
Oh,
Thank you, Chair. My apologies.
I apologize.
So I've talked a lot already tonight, so I'll try to keep this brief. This project has been going on about a year now, almost 2 years now. Grand Chute partnering with both Outagamie County and the City of Appleton and East Central Regional Planning. So it's really looking at the College Avenue corridor from Mall Drive all the way down into downtown Appleton. What came out of the planning process and a lot of public participation and workshops and listening sessions and events out at schools and businesses and all sorts of different things were four key areas that we're hoping to focus on as we move forward. Those 4 areas are improving roadway safety through a redesigned transportation network that serves all users, bicycles, pedestrians, and vehicles. Establish a distinct district identity to strengthen the community, incorporates green space and enhances livability, and revitalizes underutilized sites to unlock long-term economic development potential. The new vision, or the new avenue visioning document aligns with the goals and objectives identified in multiple sections of the Town of Grand Chute Comprehensive Plan. If you're wondering about next steps, we're kind of working on that right now as we speak as a group. But the logical next steps are for us to reach back out to the DOT, the Wisconsin DOT, who has been a part of, there's kind of a larger, broader stakeholder group and a smaller core group of individuals that are more involved, myself included, along with staff from Outagamie County and the city of Appleton. So we're going to reach back out to DOT to kind of have some discussions on what are the next steps. The notion of this project actually happening would most desirably be working with the DOT to get a large-scale reconstruction project, and then having a jurisdictional transfer to likely mostly Outagamie County, but also potentially the town and city of Appleton. So with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions, but staff does support a Plan Commission recommendation for approval. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions?
I'll make a motion to approve, but I do have some points I'd like to make for discussion.
Ayling will second.
Go ahead.
So mine's going to remain the same. I brought it up at the Plan Commission meeting when we first addressed this, is going to be the funding. As part of this first steps discussion amongst the municipalities involved, I believe we approved a funding mechanism of 50-50 with Outagamie County for Double J project. I would like to see that different, obviously, with the county picking up a higher responsibility of this new plan, this new avenue plan. And I would just like to put that on the record with the supervisors, that be part of the discussion that staff has when they're meeting with their other municipal leaders.
Can I ask a follow-up question, Mr. Garing? So is that in reference to reconstruction costs or long-term maintenance costs?
I would say
both?
everything.
Okay.
Because right now, correct me if I'm wrong, but Double J is a 50-50 cost share, and we've had a lot of discussion about that project. And that's a reconstruction. So any new construction, reconstruction down the road, I think we should have the county and or the state, whoever the partners are that remain in some aspect of this, should have a higher percentage of that share going forward. Because, I mean, from the county's perspective, this is the arterial that takes everybody to the airport. So I'm just making the point for the record as part of that discussion now.
Any other discussion?
Was there any discussion of including going down to Casa Loma because of all the businesses and the business and the, I mean, it kind of, just to cut off at Mall Drive, it seems like we're cutting short.
There's
you know what I
there's a
mean?
missing piece in there, and that's from Casa Loma to Mall Drive. Director Joma, do you have an update on that? Because I know it's being discussed again. We went, so a previous Public Works Director and myself had several meetings, I mean, it went over a year, about this section, most notably because of the challenges at Mall Drive and College Avenue, where Mall and Nicolay meet with College. And there was just a difference in professional opinion between the town and the city, I'm sorry, the town and the county, on what that intersection should look like. And I think there's more, perhaps, alignment now than there has been in the past. I'll just tell the town board, the county was really pushing for what's called a J-turn. So if you were traveling north on Mall Drive, your only option would be to turn right. You could not go straight, you could not turn left. Consequently, if you're traveling south on Mall Drive, going back to College Avenue and most likely going back to 41, right, you would have to turn right. You could not go straight, you could not turn left. And then there'd be a new intersection about halfway between Casa Loma and Mall Drive that would allow you to do a U-turn. It was an interesting conversation. We had very different opinions, but respectfully and professionally. They also, as part of that plan, would have to add, because what would happen, what we would expect to happen, is people wouldn't want to do that. They don't want to go through that intersection and go through those movements, so they would automatically default to Casa Loma. So then Casa Loma had, I think, 1 or 2 extra left turn lanes, and it already has 2. I think it was going to 3, maybe 4. So we had some costs, the town would, with that intersection. So it was just, we never could come into alignment. We've had a more recent discussion with that, and I think there maybe is some, but that's on everyone's radar. That's not going to be forgotten. We're not going to just skip, because that road is in horrible shape in that section too.
Yes, it is.
So we're well aware of that. Director Jomo, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, when we spoke with the county about that, we talked about dusting off the plans that were originally designed and looking at it in 2026 to come up with a finalized solution that we mutually agree upon. So there is money allocated in the 2026 capital improvement budget to do that from Casa Loma to 41.
There are other options available, just increasing the capacity of that signalized intersection. There's roundabouts, but you can imagine how big the roundabout would have to be there because of the traffic volume. So thank you, Director Jomo, for that update.
What are the wishes of the board?
So that's not finalized though, right? You're still discussing what they want to do with that? It's kind of just up in the air?
We have a motion on the table. Any other questions? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Secondly, on the Plan Commission recommendations is certified survey map CSM 15-2025, requested by Eugene and Kathleen Dorn.
Thank you, Chair. Plan Commission recommends approval. Thank you.
Gearing moves approval of
There's a-
CSM 15-2025.
Ayling seconds.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next, we're up to item H, ordinances. Consideration of ordinance O06-2025, amending existing chapter 497, trees and shrubs.
All right, thank you,
Director
Chair.
Jolma.
So the memorandum that I prepared today summarizes some of the key revisions that are proposed as part of the ordinance for the trees and shrubs section. This all started when we found out that the existing ordinance that we have, Chapter 497, incorrectly labeled the frequency with which we do our branch collection. It was following the standard that's been in place years ago instead of what we currently do. With that, we were looking at modifying it, and as I read more and more through the ordinance, I found things that just didn't feel like they accurately reflected the times now. They were outdated, limited, they could use a lot more clarity. So went through the entire ordinance from top to bottom and provided more information where I felt it was needed. So I did summarize some of the key revisions to the ordinance, but it is attached with red lines and all the tracking of what was existing versus proposed. Some of the main highlights, just some restructuring of the sections, incorporated more cross-referencing between the sections, looked at all the sections to do with violations and penalties for enforcement, clarifying authority of who has authority in the earlier sections with the forester-related items so that not everything has to come to the town board. There's a delegation of authority there. Doing some more work on standards and clearances, visibility, incorporated trails into it. It previously referenced just sidewalks, got that in there. A lot of work on the disease and nuisance portion to more generalize it to non-specific nuisances and infectious diseases. Did, as I spoke, did some updates to the branch disposal and curbside collection policies. We did add in a max individual branch length because previously we had just a 75-pound limit, and that's really hard to enforce when you're out there picking them up. So there was really no limit on the length. So 8 feet we felt was appropriate and matched the largest of what other municipalities will document for a maximum length. And then we did, like I said, added additional enforcement and cost recovery into the other sections that were missing it previously. So that's kind of the summary, high level of what was changed throughout. Nearly every section was touched, and tried to make it as clear as possible what we're trying to achieve with the ordinance. There's one other thing I want to touch on before it gets lost is with the way our branch collection program currently exists, we drive around the entire town based on when an area receives garbage collection, and we look for every house that has branches out, we'll collect it. what we're proposing to do with this ordinance update, and it's not part of the ordinance, but I thought it'd be a good time to discuss it because we do spring and fall collections, so this would be preparing for a spring collection, is with our tire collection policy right now, we require some form of sign up to get your tires collected. So it's either by phone, by email, or by a GIS-based QR code that people can fill out a survey. And it will put it into our system, and then we'll know where we need to go right away. We can put routes together, go collect our tires. We're looking at possibly implementing that exact same system for our branch collection policies so that, again, we don't have to spend, we don't have to drive every single road, every single house looking for branches, spring and fall. It'll also improve our system too, because with this sign up, we're gonna be able to put our ordinances and rules and requirements as part of like a acknowledgement screen that when they sign up, they have to like acknowledge that they know the rules, the regulations. It's gonna be a little tighter for us as far as enforcement goes. If somebody is non-compliant, we'll be able to track better of who signs up, who doesn't sign up. I listed some more information in there about what it potentially could be for valuable for us for information, but that's an idea we wanted to propose to try to mimic that tire collection policy. And people who utilize the tire collection policy should be familiar with the process. And we provide, like I said, 3 different options to sign up. With that, I can take any further questions if anybody has any.
Excuse me, how is that gonna be communicated? What's the recommendation to communicate that to the community? Is
For
that
the
gonna be through
change.
newsletters?
Sure.
Is there-
Yep. So we every in the quarterly newsletters and the e-newsletters, we always put information as it approaches for collection time. So we try to get that out there. We put it on our website and social media and the 2 newsletters. So that's the best effort we can do to get that information out there. Of course, if we do change that, there will be, a little bit of growing pains to get people to learn. So we'll have to be a little lenient right away as we try to wean off of the old system to go to a new system. We don't just want to, if they didn't understand it, we still want to collect their branches, but it'll help us a little better.
I'm assuming if you're collecting on one street and you happen to see a pile there that somebody hasn't signed up for, you just go ahead and collect it?
I think at the initial start of the program, we would implement that type of a policy, but once we're a couple years into it or a second year into it, we'd probably be a little bit more stringent on people following the rules. But yeah, we'd be, as Jordan said, we'd be flexible.
Yeah. What can happen and what happens now is people will say we come through, we're scheduled to come through on a certain week or day. We'll come through, do it all, and then somebody will call and say, hey, you forgot to grab my stuff, because they just put it out that day. They'll take advantage of it, and it causes us to do a lot of backtracking on our routes. So if we're able to get it all into the system eventually, we'll just follow what's, part of the collection process.
Thanks.
I would think, though, that it probably would be a couple of years before you'd actually make the residents fully accountable. The first year, we'd probably have to do the newsletters, the weekly e-thing a couple of times, e-newsletter a couple of times, put it on the website, get the program started, but still cover the town at least the whole first year.
Yep.
Until the residents really become aware
Yep,
of
definitely.
the service request process. By the time you get into the second year of it, well, okay, fine, then it's probably all right to hold the residents more accountable to that procedure. But there's got to be education, and there's got to be, obviously, there's got to be an education portion of it.
Yep, and I was able to look at some websites of municipalities in the surrounding area. Couldn't find the information from all of them, but just from what I found, Fox Crossing, Greenville, Combined Locks, Little Chute all do requests by it. So it's not something, totally new either.
I'll motion that we approve 0-06-2025 as amended.
Larry seconds.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Question,
Go
is
ahead.
that with the collection sign-up process?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next is consideration of ordinance 0072025, amending existing Chapter 520 Waste Management.
All right.
away.
So I know it doesn't get much more exciting than trees and shrubs, but I'm going to try with waste management. So this, again, we're looking at another ordinance, kind of revised start to finish. And this one was kind of predicated by us having, in the middle of next year, we're going to have our current waste management company is going to come, you know, the term is up, so we're going to be going out soliciting RFPs for a new one. So wanted to spin through our existing ordinance and provide some updates. So again, much like the last one, this section was just outdated. I don't know the last time it's been updated, but it's been quite some time. The bigger things that we did with this one of the biggest things was we modified the insurance limits. They were way out of whack, so we worked with our insurance provider to get those new limits in structure. Did reorganize this section into 3 articles, which was previously 2, by moving the composting and organic management out to its own article. Did a lot more information for terminology of definitions and align them with state definitions. Provide a lot more cross-referencing throughout the document. Made a lot more information available of what is acceptable and unacceptable materials for solid waste or recycling carts. Made some clarifications of what a multifamily unit actually is and what their responsibilities are. Did make a minor adjustment for a container removal to allow it to stay at the roadside within 24 hours of the 6 a.m. time at collection day. So what it currently was is you put it out at 6 a.m. and you had 12 hours to get it out. So at 6 p.m. of that same day, I just felt that some people may not even be home by the time from work of when we required to collect it. So we just made it 24 hours from the time that it's supposed to be out. So lengthen that just a little bit. We previously didn't have any information on where containers were supposed to be stored, so I added some information with that. And then again, added some language about delegation of authority because it previously had the town board making all, you know, relatively minor day-to-day decisions of the enforcement of this ordinance and allowed it to be a designated representative. So that's, again, a high-level summary of what was changed throughout this ordinance, but pretty much everything was touched in one way or another. And I didn't mention this with the last one, but both of these did go to our town attorney for review for enforcement and penalty-related sections.
Thank you. Any questions?
Motion to approve ordinance 0-07-2025 as amended.
Ailing seconds.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Now we're up to item I, adjournment.
Ailing moves to adjourn.
There seconds.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned.